All right, good evening, and thanks for joining me for this matchup, Division E West, between 210 Blechman Street and oh my, they blanked out. I'm having such issues with this new layout that I have. Oh, there you go. Make sure I switch over to the correct screen. And Screaming Nachos. And hope all of you are doing well. I messed around with some of my settings, so hopefully you're able to hear me. Bit of an echo. Okay. Maybe I might switch it. I was trying to do something different. Oh, I know what it is. How about now? I think that should help. I hope. Anyways, we see a Sonya being banned out. Nachos got to win the coin toss. They selected map pick and they decided to go to Cursed Hollow. Going back on the notes, again, my layup is completely different. I'm definitely going to switch off to Soothsayer this offseason. But map bans, we had Towers and Dragon Shower being banned out by 210 Blackman Street, and then Nachos banned out Brax's and BOE when with the coin toss they won, decided to take us to Curse Hollow. But is that better, Chauncey? We do see Sonya and Azul being banned out, and then Illidan and Kel'Thuzad. We do see a first pick on Phoenix. And Phoenix brings a lot of utility, depending on how you want to play this map. If you're going to be going for, the 113 or 112, Phoenix can fill a few of those. A little echoey still. Okay, I know what to do then. We do see Brightwing and Johanna being picked on the side of Screaming Nachos. I'm going to be muted for a second and I'll be back. It's not the room. I'm using the crisp sound cleaner to help. How about now? Because I'm using that app Crisp. I try to use it to remove some of the noise I would get from my fan or typing on my keyboards. But anyways, we do see Lucio and Rubarak being picked out. The second round of bans coming through, we see Vala being banned by Nachos. So this gives me time to work on my... It sounded fine when I did it on a replay, but I guess I did something to my audio that changed it. So I'm just going to go back to my default, I believe. That's probably what I have to do. We do see the Junkrat and Grayman being picked out. Junkrat, again, providing a lot of poke. So far, they don't have heroes that can get to Junkrat. And then Grayman obviously bringing a lot of siege damage. We have Nortanas and a Nazebo being picked out. Nazebo, even though being banned, is still up not banned. Even being nerfed slightly, is still pretty good. And with the last pick, we do see Varian coming out. And that's, I assume, going to be a Smash Varian, unless they want to go with like a taunt Varian. I've seen the taunt Varian being the main tank in an off-lane Johanna before, so I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think that's what they're going to be doing. Alright, so maybe bear with me. So overall, I think both drafts are pretty solid. We do see the Nazeeb on the side of 210, Blechman Street, and so they're going to scale a little bit, also with Artanas. With the Varian, it depends what build they go. I would assume a Smash, maybe a Variant, or a Twin Blades, Wind Blades. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Taunt to give more of a solid body, more CC for Junkrat and Greymane. While I deal with my audio that for some reason went bad just as I started the cast. Anyways, we'll look at the side of 210 Blechman Street. We have this Dominator on the... Oh god, I'm looking on the names now because I'm trying to do 2 things at once or 10 things at once. On the Phoenix.
10 seconds.
We do have Slow Cheetah on the Artanis.
5.
Is it Loido on the Nubrag Asterix on the Lucio, and Blanchard on the Nazebo on the side of Nachos, Screaming Nachos, Milkor on the Johanna, Atomic Alien, Greymane, Trench on Junkrat, Shadow Luigi on our Brightwing, and then we do see the Varian Arctic Fox showing bottom lane. By the way, we see Phoenix trying to get some value top a little bit, but if you are 210 Blechman Street, you want to be a little bit careful. You do see the skirmish early on. Junkrat responding to the Phoenix up top, and the Varian responding to the Nazebo, and that's going to be interesting because that's a rough matchup for any Varian. And so we see a 1-3-1 from both teams. Not just moving over to get their siege camp right away with Greymane and the Brightwing. And we see a rotation down to the Varian, and it's going to get picked off. First blood on 210 Blechman Street, able to get that first pick. First blood. And that's something you have to be careful as a Varian, right? Especially if you're 410. Still see the Junkrat and the Phoenix dueling it out top, and Junkrat has to be careful. If you're a Phoenix, you're trying to trade out your shield for damage on the Junkrat, and then you just wait a second and you're back to go. You're good to go back in, right? We do see the Bruiser camp being picked up on the side of Screaming Nachos. Brightwing porting in to give Milker a little bit more health. They do have that camp coming in, so we're probably going to see some of the members from 210 Blechman Street coming over to help support this. And we do see that. You see the swap from the Artanis, and that's something we're gonna be mindful of. Wait, and we still see that Varian hasn't. He hasn't picked his 4 yet. We did see High Kings, which indicates a Smash or Twin Blades, right? So we're going to keep an eye out for that. Keep showing those solo laners. Yeah. We see the first objective coming up bot, and it's going to be a Wind Blades Varian. Why not, right? However, they did get the tribute, but up here, Phoenix able to get some value up top. I mean, how about half a keep with that camp? So, Junkrat, generally a hero that's difficult to siege into, but Phoenix can trade out his shield for some damage. We do see some rotation up. Phoenix able to recognize that and rotate away. Again, we do see the swap a little bit late. And the zombie wall not able to catch Arctic Fox, able to back out safely. We do see the side of 210 Blechman Street. Moving over to their bruiser camp. So if you're Nachos, you're playing with a team that scales probably a little bit better than you, right? So you have to be mindful of that. We do see already Nachos posturing up. Oh, Phoenix. Dude, just... yeah. Gotta be careful, Phoenix. Oh, he does actually get trapped and boot back. He's able to escape away with... oh, so little health. But able to back off. Melker's actually in danger now. We see the trap on the Lucio. It looks like 210 Blechman Streets. Or Blechman Streets. I'm gonna, if you're watching this later, I'm gonna be sorry. I'm gonna say sorry. I want to say Blechman Street forever. So we do see Nachos retreating back. We do see the swap on the variant trying to retreat back with that camp pushing mid. Shadow Cheetah getting kind of low, trying to back off. You gotta be careful here again. Brightwing able to top off Shadow Cheetah a bit. Wasn't actually that Shadow Cheetah. That was wrong team. Lucio able to back off Shadow Cheetah to safety. We do see Junkrat still working here. I don't know if he's going to check that. Oh, now he sees. Now he's probably... oh, they're going to engage on this and swap. Oh, the mine able to save Junkrat, able to get away. Junkrat, one of those very slippery heroes, right? He's one of those heroes you think you get and always gets away with a 10 HP. Because that's his design, right? As you see Varian doing Varian things, they were able to pick up their camp bottom. And we do have 3 members top from 210. The Johanna using Blessed Shield. We do see 10s come online for both teams. We have Sound Barrier. We don't have anything picked up from a noob. Suppression Pulse, Planet Cracker, Ravenous Spirit. And on the side of Nachos, we do see Curse Bullet. Blessed Shield, which you saw being used, Emerald Wind, and still holding on the pick from Varian, as well as Reptire. We see Locust Swarm, very interesting, being picked on the side of 210. Varian getting swapped out. Varian Spirit being popped. Noob trying to follow up with the CC, but Varian is able to be able to walk away. Maybe. No, you have a Lucio. You're not going to get away from a Lucio. But with that, in the meantime, they get the bottom fort and bottom pick on Varian. We do see the Screaming Nachos picking up their top boss. However, the point is bottom. I think if you're Nachos, you just want to siege into this, right? You recognize you're not going to get this tribute. We have 4 members on top pushing along with the boss, which I think is a good play. Junkrat trying to get some vision with the traps. We only have 3 members of 210. Respond to this, Johanna trying to get away, gonna get followed up, and CC does not have the trait, right? No. And Johanna running for their lives. Top fort does go down. Grammy was starting this, but I think tried to respond to maybe help. Goes back to try and help and finish that. We do see Slow Cheetah providing some vision. So we do have a very important tribute this time. 2 members of Blechman. We have a noob also posturing up. Varian a little bit slow. Oh no. No, you gotta... They walk into the bush, but you have to engage. Planet Cracker, Ravenous Spirit. Booster providing some speed for the tanks to try to engage. Junkrat's able to delay the channel for a second, but might... No, he's able to get away. But we do see the first objective go. Johanna actually goes down off screen. I missed it. But with 13s, 210 Blechman Street was able to secure the first objective. We see Varian responding bottom lane, trying to clear that up. But it looks like 210 Blechman Street's going to be able to secure the mid fort. Top fort goes down. Mid one goes down, and bottom where we had been taken earlier. So we do see a 2 fort advantage on the side so far of Blechman Street. Ezepo looks like they're trying to bait out that Varian. The swap coming up from Artanis, but he's going to get collapsed on. And it looks like Varian's going to be going down. Varian going down again. You see 210 Blechman Street posturing to take that bottom seat, and they will get it. Not much Screaming Notch is going to do, but if you're Screaming Notches, you are now maybe concerned. You do see 16s about half a level away for 210 Blechman Street. They're able to get the bottom wall of towers. We do see us. Oh, we do see an engage. We did see Blessed Shield. Are they able to... Nazebo popping ice wall, but only delayed the inevitable. And with that, very good pick. But what can you do with that? We do see 210 Blechman Street moving over to secure the Bruiser camp. Oh, that didn't help. I was trying to turn off my fan. There you go. That might help with the background noise, I think. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust something. And Screaming Notches only half a level away. Less now. We're about a third of a level away, so looks like I'm trying to set up for a rotation gank. Right, we gotta be careful with that. Oh, they do see Junkrat. So they know there's members hanging around. If you're Nachos, you just want to back off. You don't want to be here at all. Yeah, no reason for you to be here. You're about to get 16s. This is exactly what 210 Blechman Street wants. They want to just engage on you with that level advantage. We do see 16 coming online, so now we're going to have some even level or even talent fights. We see the camp getting cleared mid, but again, 210 being able to posture up for the next tribute. You see Phoenix start to channel, Rain there by themselves. It does get channeled, but it doesn't really matter, right? That doesn't mean anything. They get the first of the next objective. Look at the Varian build. He did go second blade. He did Warbringer, which means it makes it more difficult for a Varian to solo boss. That's what I thought they would have tried to do. We do see the Artana is using his ult to check that boss, but no one was there, so you can Varian is like, okay, you check the boss, now we're moving in. 210 Blechman Street realizing they're probably gonna do theirs, we should rotate down and do ours. So we're gonna see a boss trade here. I mean, it makes sense for both sides. You're not in position. There's not much to do. If you're 210 Blechman Street, you're risking more if you try to invade, I think. That gets picked up really quickly. We do see the bottom boss also picked up by 210 Blechman Street. We do set that rotation. So again, if you're screaming Nachos, you gotta be careful. The top lane's being pushed a little bit with that siege. We do see the engage down. Oh, I barely missed it. The Gramming getting blown up. Brightwing trying to save teammates by using... Oh, and the Varian getting swapped out. Very good swaps. And then we do have the new following up. And if you're Varian, you're just trying to hold on. And with that, we do see 2 members down. Johanna backing up. Junkrat getting rooted. You gotta be careful. Oh, the swap barely misses. If that swap lands, that's likely a dead Junkrat. But now with the boss, about a quarter health, threatening the key, or the core. If you see members, Bless Issue comes out, Brightwing able to give some more help to Johanna. But the core is swiftly going down, and it looks like game 1 will be going over to the side of 210 Blechman Street. GG's. So again, a very strong showing from the side of 210 Blechman Street. It looked like they were able to achieve what they wanted. Not a very high kill or death count. I mean, this is relatively low, but again, a big map like Cursed Hollow. This is not surprising. You do see that the only member actually to go down from the side of 210 Blechman Street is Nazebo. But Varian having a very hard time being able to do much. He got swapped a few times, and Varian, that's when his biggest weakness, right? Once he hasn't engaged, and I guess that's why Warbringer was selected to help with that. But if you look at the damage, we do see Nazebo being top, followed by Junkrat, and overall, the side of Screaming Knives were not able to do much damage. Brightwing and Lucio relatively close. You don't see much of a difference there. As far as Siege, Junkrat able to keep up with that a little bit, and also being able to get top experience for their team as well. But it just seemed like, again, typical Cursed Hollow sequence is you slowly start falling behind, and if you're not able to keep up, you're just having to give up tributes, you're having to give up objectives. And so you're put in a very bad position. Yeah, they got a lot of very good point Malfix. It just got a lot of lane pressure, and Screaming Notch is unfortunately not able to respond to that. Alright, with that, show the talents for those viewing. As we can see, we didn't reach level 20, right? No, we didn't. So we're now going to wait to see what the next match, or the next map will be. Let me update the scoreboard. This is when I have too many tabs open. Kind of thing. One of these. There you go. There it is. So the Screaming Nachos picked Cursed. 210 Blechman Street. Won it. There you go. So if you're Screaming Nachos, I think, yeah, like I said, I thought both had really solid compositions. For the most part, it just seemed that Varian was not able to do much here. And again, Slow Cheetah on Ortanos was able to get some very good swaps. I would imagine that probably the next match probably seen an Ortanos ban. I think out of that, everybody did well, but I think the Ortanos got a lot of value with the swaps and the displacement. Emil Santiago says Blechman did a good job of taking advantage of a split team getting kills. Not many 5v5. Yeah, that was very true. You didn't see many 5v5s, and this is again one of those maps where if you're able to provide global pressure or lane pressure in other lanes, it forces your offlaner or another member to respond to that, and then you're able to take advantage of that. So very good on the part of 210 Blackman Street to be able to take advantage of that. It seems like they were able to get in position a couple times because of trying to either clean up a lane or clean up a camp. We did see Screaming Nachos having to come in a little bit later, and a couple times a few members were going in a little bit early without the rest of the team and got picked off because of that. So very challenging situation overall, but we do see like we have the next match, so I'm going to switch over to our non-draft screen. So looks like we're gonna be going over to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Looks like we have a few members requesting a bio break, and it Tomb of the Spider Queen was picked by Nachos. But anyways, we'll take a quick moment break and be right back. All right, it looks like we do have our teams ready. We're going to get started. Switching over to our drafts screen. We have Tomb of the Spider Queen starting shortly. So again, imagine Ortana's maybe not going to be a prio here. I don't know if you want to ban that. I don't think there was anything that was super obvious of okay, you want to definitely get banned. There's maybe it's the Nazebo. I think Nazebo definitely gets more value here because smaller lanes, able to stack a little bit easier. If anything, maybe Nazebo, but maybe Ortanis. But even then, I don't know. I think it was more of a execution and not more of a comp issue. And 210 Blackman Street was able to execute what they wanted to do a little bit better So I don't know if there's any obvious bans besides what we saw maybe last time. We do see Mosley with the follow things, Mosley. Yeah, and again, Mosley. I'll try to highlight the offlaners as much as possible. A little bit easier here because smaller lane. We do see the Zol being banned out, and then the Kel'Thuzad, the Lich, right? Who I did not get to beat or kill back in Vanilla WoW, but with the second coming of Classic WoW, I was able to live out my dream of killing it in its quote original form. So I was happy with that. We do see Sonya then being banned out again. So it looks like we're seeing very similar except with Zol. I think Zol was banned out by Screaming Nachos last time. Anub. Actually, I think Anub is a good ban, especially on this map. Anub, short lanes, Anub is able to be in the more of the shadows, can go in, Cocoon. Although Cocoon wasn't picked last time, which actually was surprising. We do see Teuton Blechman Street parrying the Johanna. Johanna is a very good tank here, obviously. Being able to provide wave clear, being able to provide poke to delay turn-ins. So, kind of a very standard, generic tank to pick here. But a very solid one, right, Johanna? We do see Tacitor and Murden. Interesting. Maybe a playmaker Murden, maybe, right? We could always hope. And we do see picks 2 and 3 with Asmodan and Brightwing being picked with 210 Blackman Street. So that brings us to our second round of bans. So overall, I mean, Asmodan obviously brings a lot of wave clear and a lot of potential for big chunky poke. However, Murden can be pretty good with, being able to harass that Asmodan. We do see the Phoenix being banned. Actually, I do agree with that. Phoenix did a really good job. Typically, I would think that Junkrat could hold his own versus Phoenix. But for some reason, that didn't happen. And so, actually, that Phoenix play was very good. We do see the Lucio being banned out. But go with the action. Well, the action is with the solo laners, of course, right? Maev and a Stukov. So we do see a spicy pick. Obviously, Maev now with her. Maev is like on that one of those heroes that is on the border of you can only buff her so much before she gets crazy, right? It's like same thing with Illidan, same thing with like Medivh, and recently with her buffs, her stasis ult, I forget what it is, and now it pretty much becomes like a 6-second removal of a hero. We do see Ortana's coming out again with the Kerrigan. So Kerrigan, this is one of her better maps, obviously. I mean, Ortana's worked for them last time, so if it ain't broke, why try to fix it? The only thing I would say is that Johanna with the Kerrigan is kind of odd, right? But obviously, if you're able to go Blitz a shield, you can time your ults. It doesn't matter. So typically, you see Kerrigan with a noob, Kerrigan with a more divey hero. With our last pick on Ragnaros, trying to see if we see any swaps. I do not think so. My voice is very echoey. I'm sorry. Here, hold up. I'll try one more time to fix this. Oh, actually. So what happened is I tried to do something that I thought was going to help with background noise, and I think it ended up doing it worse. And it worked fine when I tested it. Oh, they did swap. Oh. Lloyd, okay.
Prepare yourselves. The battle begins.
We do see Lloyd on the Kerrigan, Blanchard on the Bright Wing, Slow Cheetah on the Ortanas again, Dominator on the Asmodan, Asterix on the Johanna. On the side of the Screaming Nachos, we do see Milker on the Murden, Trench on the Tassiter, Shadow Luigi on the Stukov, Atomic Alien on the Maiev, and Rag on, or Arctic Fox on Rag. So as per usual, we'll see the middle engage. I'm gonna try to real quickly. You know, the audio goes off when I switch. That's not good. We do see the 4-man top with the Rag being bot. Arctic careful to be picked. Able to get away though. Oh, if you're Kerrigan, you gotta be careful with that. Wall coming out. The silence. And Kerrigan's gonna be able to get away. The swap on Murden, which is not the target you wanted on, right? Murden can be relatively safe for that. If that was on the Tassiter, that Tassiter likely going down. Do see Asmodan and Rag bottom. Ortanis looking to maybe gank. My moving over to the booster camp to help pick that up. Oh, and the Rag getting swapped again. Will be going down. And yeah, that's something that, as an offlaner, you gotta be mindful of. You see the siege camp could be picked up by 210 Blechman Street. The booster camp being picked up by Screaming Nachos at Kerrigan again. The wall does not prevent that. We do see Brightman coming in, be able to help give some health to get away. Might be able to pull them back, taking some tower damage. But Rag able to come back in time. Again, we have the Kerrigan soloing top, and I mean third time's a charm, right? And yes, oh yes, it is indeed. I was gonna say this is the third time that's happened. I mean, if you're Kerrigan, you have to recognize that, right? You know, don't go past your midpoint, right? That's 3 times. I don't know how many gems they lost. I don't think it was too many. You do see 26 turned in down the side of 210 Blackman Street. Murden hurting holding 28. Cameron back up. Oh, that swap looks like it barely missed on Tassiter, right? Oh, Kerrigan. Lloyda, if you watch this later on, I'm just gonna say you're giving me like anxiety how far you're up. But anyways, able to get away. We do see the turn in coming in on the side. 36 gems coming through with the swap on the Stukov, but not much damage to follow up, right? Right wing, not very threatening. Jahan as well. While we do see Asmodan still down the bottom lane with the Ragnars. We do see 3 members, so if you're Rag, you gotta be careful. They already did the swap on you once. We do see the mid engage. And both teams are around 33-36. Members of Screaming Nachos getting a little low. And we did get the turn in from Screaming Nachos. And this map is one of those that getting first turn in doesn't necessarily feel great. A lot of times I feel when you get the first turn in, you have to really get some value out of it, right? I always feel like the second turn is better. You can see 4 members of Screaming Nachos coming in. The Science coming through, the Kerrigan going through. I think they get able to pick up most of those gems. Ortana's trying to escape. Swaps back in when he get away. I don't know if that was a misclick, but he swapped, right? He did swap back in. He goes down. Johanna able to pick up most of those gems. But if you're Screaming Nachos, that's what you want. Yeah, you're just... And Johanna, you gotta be careful. Oh. And those 21 gems now that you had are gone. And this is very good for Screaming Nachos to able to get that top 4, but even mid. And if you're Asmodan, oh, you gotta be careful. And yeah, you're 14 gems and you want to zone them out. So they lost 36 gems right there, right? Yeah. That's huge. There's a gauge coming out from the Tasser. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I didn't have those talents being chosen. But I haven't been time for level 10s, right? Well, that's what really matters. We do see Failing Swipe, Containment Disc, Black Hole, Lava Wave, and Avatar from Screaming Nachos. And Screaming Nachos are in a very good position now. You see Maya starting to start their camp. Bottom camp with 3 members, or 4 members really. Siege camp of Screaming Nachos. We do see members of 210 Blechman Street doing their own boozer camp. They have turn-in, so they can go in and do turn-in. Brian being able to get 10 in. They're at 43, 7 more. Very good stuns by Mura. Like very good follow-throughs, and Murden is one of those tanks that's like very underrated. He's not great at a lot of things, but he's decent at a lot, right? Reduce an engage, and Ragnar's likely to be going down. Very good engage by 210 Blackman Street. That's what they actually needed. Murden, I think, got his jump canceled, right? That's what it looked like. So they're going to be able to do their turn in without being contested. However, they do still have to deal with this mid camp. Now we have 10s. We do have Blessed Shield, Blink Heal, Summon Ultralisk, Summon Suppression Pulse, and Black Tide, or Tide of Sun, I should say, from the side of Titan Blackman Street. We do see members focusing bottom lane and pretty much getting some decent push. We do see a pause. I'm not sure. I didn't see anybody disconnect. I assume someone disconnected if there was a pod. I didn't see it.
shatter their constructs. Deliver the gems to my altar before your enemies.
Oh, the caster is muted. I'm so sorry.
My power grows.
I'm sorry about that. My audio has been an issue this whole cast, but it's probably better that you don't get to hear me.
Red team, defend yourself.
We do see the lava wave going up top. Helping clear out some of that wave. I mean, I'm saying it's probably a better cast without me talking, right? We're gonna see the bottom fort going down. Asmodan being able to complete Gluttony. Johanna slightly being caught out, being hit with Trench. Getting him very low. Blacko coming out and gets a little bit of damage, but not much beyond that. And they were able to get a bottom 4 from that, so not a lot of damage overall. However, Murden, gotta be careful. Pops Avatar. Artan is now in a bad spot. Silence comes through, the sun comes through, and Artanis goes down, and Brightwing, as well as Kerrigan, is not looking too good. All the while, you know, Asmodan doing Asmodan things. Half your team died, but you know, we got the camp. I mean, yeah, if you are Nachos, you gotta do boss. Yeah, like this does not matter. I guess they have numbers, so it doesn't. I guess it matters as well. Yeah, the timing looks pretty good. I think they'll get the boss to line up pretty well with this top wave. You gotta be careful though. Asthma, ooh. Lava wave coming through, and that's again the benefit of having that Ragnaros. Being able to provide wave clear. One of the siege camps being there. Mid camp still there. I think you could have maybe helped clear this real quickly and then move top, but we do see them move all top with the Spider Queen and the boss, and I agree with that. You want to get much value out of this as you can. We do see Blechman coming out, engage on that Murden. Murden very low, able to leap out. And Asmo not able to chunk a few of them, but you have to be careful. You don't want to be grouped up. You do have a lot of gems. And again, you can see the damage coming out. The swap on the Tacitor goes down. Containment disc on the Artanis. Yeah, if you're Nachos, you wouldn't just leave. I think they got most of the gems, it looks like. They have, I think, a second turn in. As with Danko and Bob to deal with the last of the Spider Queens. We do see Screaming Nachos moving over, and they're about half, or a little bit over half a level ahead. So if you're Screaming Nachos, you want to take advantage of this. Play for 20. If you're 210 Blechman Street, you want to come in and fight. Like, you want to come in and fight. They're down a member, and you are same level, so you want to force this fight. But Screaming Nachos recognizing this, they back off. That was definitely very good timing. Artan is turning in what they have. We do see 39. They both actually have 39 total gems. Then we do see Johanna turn in. We will see Asmodan turn in, I believe. They will be able to turn in. So they'll be 39, 39. So this is going to be more of a... I mean, if you're Screaming Nachos, you want to get to 20. Once you get 20, you just want to run at them. Like, that's what you want to do. You have 20s. This is you just run in. Like, if you're Murden, if you're all them, you just run in. And I think 210 Blechman Street recognized that, and it just they back off. But you're just chasing them. Like, you want to try and force something, right? Where you can. And they're not going to be able to get away. 210 Blechman Street doing a very good job of playing hide and seek. Brightwing taking over half their health from that wave. And now we see 20, so we'll see what we have on the side. We have Controlled Chaos, Shadow Orb, Force Barrier, second Lava Wave, and then Rewind from Murden into Destructible, Torisk, Pride, and we're waiting on Orbital Bombardment, and then Invisible Friends. Invisible Friends, one of those irritating level 20s. I don't think it's OP, it's just irritating. Oh, we do... Okay. We do see all the members of Screaming Nachos posturing. Man, we do... And this is what I say. If you take Heroic difficulty right here, that's so good. Heroic difficulty is such an underrated 20. You do so much more damage. But they're able to get a few members to actually get Brightwing and Ortez down. And Containment Disc on the Johanna. You have to go on that. Yeah, Johanna going down and with 3 members on the side of 210 Blechman Street. You just have to avoid those Asmodan orbs. Oh, Kerrigan able to get resets. And 2 members of the down. Oh, maybe I called it a little bit too early. Ragnaros trying to do what they can. Ragnaros, I don't think they're going to be able to solve this. Oh, and they backed off. But we do still have the wave. And is it going to be... Murden's still there, actually. And it's going to go down to 10%. Are they able to? No! Oh! Oh, that was... I felt they could have ended that for sure. It's so close, 10%. But with that, the members of 210 are not able to go core themselves. They can posture up for boss. We do see a slow Cheetah going in right away to start the boss. I mean, this is a tough call, right? Do you want to just backdoor this, or do you? I think it's hard to defend this because 1 kill almost secures. It's an 18-minute boss. I don't know. I guess you clear. I guess the call is to clear. Yeah. Especially with Lava Wave. If you had heroic difficulty as Rag, like this is like nothing. You have more health, more damage. And just trust in the Rag. We do have regular molten core. Yeah, it is. It can cannon. And they got their weavers as well, which is huge, right? We have all 3 lanes going to be pushed out, so. Oh, we do see an engage spot. We do see Brightwing going down again. And if you're Brightwing, you have to... I missed it because I was reading the chat. I'm sorry, but... And again, this is where Molten Course or Heroic Difficulty... Oh, that swap on the Rag was so close. You're down your healer. I don't know if you can push this hard if you're 210. And I think they realize they can't do that, and they just back off. They're able to get mid and top keep, and they're threatening bottom, but yeah, you just gotta back off. So now this becomes the good old wait until everybody's up, and then wait for turn-in kind of imagine. J10 Blechman has the advantage, right? They're halfway almost through the next turn-in. Oh, they're going core. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we just need to. I mean, I agree with this. Like, if you had Molten Core, I would say, but I mean, I don't think they can stop this. Yeah, there's I don't think there's any way. They just hit the core, click the core, sniff on the core, cough on the core, right? And yeah. Actually, a very good call. That was actually a very good call on the side of Screaming Nachos. Like, yeah, like, I think that's just what you have to do. With 10%, I think sometimes you overthink it and you forget how much damage your heroes do at that point. But I think that was a very good call, and obviously that showed. But anyways, with game 2 going over to the side of Screaming Nachos, very good part, again, with a Rag, very hard to siege into. Even though 210 Blechman Street had an Asmodan who does really well here, I felt with a Kerrigan or Tannis, you were missing out a bit on either wave clear or something, right? It's just, it's one of those where you have your Asmodan throw the chunk, and then if you're a Tannis and your Kerrigan can't finish, you're just standing around, right? And so I think they're a little bit more bursty on the side, and then obviously with the Rag wave clear, prevented a lot of opportunities to prevent an end, and the side of 210 Blechman Street did have opportunities to do so. Let's look at the damage. We see Asmodan leaning in every category ever in history, right? And so we do see the top damage coming with Asmodan, but tasks that are coming through and able to provide actually, I think, effective damage, right? I think because they're able to secure some kills. Artanis, even Johanna got the damage, and we see Stukov and Ragnaros coming in after that. When we look at the healing, Stukov actually being able to provide a lot of healing, a lot of that's surprising. Maybe there weren't enough fights that we saw that Brightwing would give value, but Stukov being able to out-heal a Brightwing, I guess in a longer match does make sense. Yeah, the dunks were chunking them at the end, but it just seemed like they weren't able to capitalize on that, right? Siege, okay, we have Rag, right? You press R and you get 1,000,000 siege in XP. But I mean that's the point, right? Rag is a very hard hero to end with, right? Or end into, right? Because he just prevents a lot of what you're trying to do. And so 11-13, very close match compared to last time, but I mean, kudos to Screaming Nachos. They it looks like they had a plan here and they were able to execute it. And lastly, I'll show the talents for you to review. Criticize. This time we did get to level 20, right? Last time we didn't get to level 20. And for the most part, I mean, we see standard Johanna, Brightwing, for the most part standard. I think the Kerrigan, Chrysalis, that's all this what you expect. Or Tannis. I have some criticism of Protector of R, but and Asmodan doing Asmodan things, Pride and Total Annihilation. Stukov actually was a really good build. Maiev with her recent buff, that Titanium Disc is almost a 6-second denial of a hero. It's 5.5, right? with the stasis and then the silence. Like, it's actually pretty broken if you're able to work around it. It's like a cocoon your team cannot blow up. Obviously, it's a skill shot, so if you miss it, you miss out on that. But look at my F got a few fights where they got the containment disc, they got pretty good value. But this game we did see the lava wave and Meriden. I'm like I said, I personally prefer to go with the heroic difficulty. It's especially late game. It's just a lot of damage. You get it up. You have it available quite often. But overall, they made it work, right? So that's all that matters. So with that, it looks like we have waiting for teams to set up for the next match. So we'll take a quick break as well.
Got him on the track board. I want you my free. Got him on the track board. Got him on the track board. Got him on the track board. Okay?
All right, it looks like we are Going to Volskaya Foundry, and this was selected by 210 Blechman Street. So now I think I finally figured what the issue was with my audio. I had two of the audio things going, so that's why you probably heard an echo. But correct me if I'm wrong. It should be better, I think, right? That's why I've been trying to talk less, because I know how annoying it can be when you have like double audios going on. But I think it should have fixed that now. All right, so we're going to Volskaya. Yeah, they're in game 3. We did see 210 take game 1. Screaming Nachos take game 2, so now we're in game 3. But let me know. I think my audio is a lot better this time, right? Yes, no, maybe. So we do see Screaming Nachos now being able to pick first this time. Artanis wasn't that as effective last time, but I think this is a map where Artanis can get a lot of value, right? There's points where you can predict people are at. It's a little body. Oh my god. I guess I won't talk as much as we do see Illidan and Zol being banned out. So I'll mitigate that by not talking as much then. I do see Kel'Thuzad again being banned out. It's Sukov being banned out as well.
Mecha Tassadar online.
We do see Trench picking the Tassadar first pick. I think he did really well, but immediately Phoenix and Lucio being picked. I mean, again, I think Phoenix did a really good job in the first match, so it makes sense they prioritized that the second time around. Yeah, I know. Like I said, this is why I was testing with trying to improve the audio, and then I actually made it worse. And then when I tested, I was like, "Oh, it sounds good."
The crusade calls.
But apparently not.
So
We do see Johanna and Deckard. And again, Johanna is just a tank that's been highly contested. You know, not, again, amazing at anything in particular, but very good at a lot. And Deckard, again, being able to provide a lot of CC. One of the criticisms of Deckard, right, is that he's relatively weak early on before he gets Ruby. But he gets stronger as the match goes. Yeah, it looks like a package to the lineup, sort of like game 1, besides Deckard, right? We do see the Grammy being banned out, which is good. Grayman's really good getting camps. A noob, I was going to say, I would think that a noob would be banned out. More so if they would pick Cocoon, but I guess the first match they did not pick Cocoon. I was kind of surprised by that. Cause
ready for action.
For the Alliance.
And again, we do see the Maiev and the Gaslow.
One-man wrecking crew.
Murden this time be picked up on the side of 210 Blackman Street and Jaina. I like the Maiev. Like, Maiev actually was able to help secure quite a few picks. And again, Maiev, again, here, I think is a lot stronger than Entomb, because you know they have to be on a point, right? And if Johanna takes Falling Sword, able to take a Falling Sword combo with that Maya,
I hear the
we do
call.
see the Nazebo. And the Gasla as well. So we're going to have a more of a squishy backline, even though the Nazebo is not super squishy. But still, this is one where if you're 210 Blackman Street, you're gonna want to take it slow, right? Overall, I think both. I think you can see what they're trying to achieve here, right? As far as their CCs, they're less so for 210. It looks like they're just having a lot more just bursty damage and more sustained damage.
Commence combat preparations.
Whereas on the side of Screaming Nachos, they're a little more wombo combo-y. Again, we do see Loido on Murden, slow Cheetah on the Jaina, Asterix on the Lucio. We do see Dominator on the Phoenix again, and Blanchard on that Nazebo. We have the Arctic Fox on the Gaslo, Atomic Alien on the Maiev again, Trench on the Tassiter again as well. Melker on the Johanna, and Shadow Luigi on that. I did things bad. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think it impacts. You can see Lucio's help. Phoenix trying to get Valley Top, able to get a little bit, but sniffed out right away. I think after the first match, they kind of figured he's going to do that. Maiev to pull him back. His teleport got interrupted, right? But he's able to walk away. He gets support from the rest of his teammates. They'll do that. Second minion, they'll die eventually. Johanna getting a little down a little bit, but we do see they're able to walk away. We do see the rotation, and now we do have the 4-man going top and mid. Meanwhile, we do have Gaslo dealing with Nazebo. Nazebo's a little bit weaker early, right? We do see Lucio and Jaina rotating down. Maiev working on the fortification camp. Again, this map, the camps are so important, right? You want to get your fortification camp on cooldown if possible. You want to get this support camp if possible, but obviously it's a little more challenging. We see that first coming out, but not too far behind. 210 Blackman Street, getting their own fortification camp. Nazebo push or Gaslo pushing in a bit. You gotta be careful. As soon as you see that cap, you gotta back. Like, you see that cap, you gotta back. Ooh. Okay. I was like, if I'm on the Nazebo and I see that cap, I'm like, I run away. But he wasn't punished. Johanna able to provide some pressure, wave clear. Nazebo now switching over to the top lane. Yeah, if you look at Varian, I think Varian was not effective at all. I don't think there's anything Varian could provide. I think maybe Smash would have been better. It's just Twin Blades is. I think you literally need an ABBA for that, right? I think you need ABBA for Twin Blades. But I think if you need an ABBA for any hero to be viable, I think this. Typically bad, but you know. Nazebo, we rotate on. We do have a few follows. We do have. Oh, we have Maya taking out the Nazebo. We have a break incoming from 130 Dragon. Thank you for the follow. We see Neon97. Thank you for the follow again. Welcome to the NGS cast. We have a Division E playoff, Division E West playoff matchup. Game 3, so you joined just in time. Right away, we have the first objective mid with Screaming Nachos. Honestly, they're up ahead, almost 7. If you're Screaming Nachos, if they come in, you just back off, right? Like, we don't have to fight you. And it looks like they're going to go up to get the camp, recognizing they're kind of far behind, a little bit in XP. Going to help with that. Taps are soaking top. We do have the Phoenix spot. But, I mean, Screaming Nachos are in a very good position overall. It looks like they're trying to push with that support camp. They get... Again, they see they're doing that. And now with 7s online for them, they have to back off, so... And now we have even talents now. But still... Oh, the Jaina able to put out a lot of damage. The Brute from the Decker not hitting anybody. Phoenix in a weird spot, but he's in a flank position. But he has to be careful because they all can turn on him. And here we have Atomic. Does he have Vault? No, Vault's not available. Phoenix able to take down the Maiev. But they're still holding point. I mean, he teleports in. Like, this is when you're like, hey, Phoenix just has no way to get out. But it looks like Deckard actually able to survive it. Phoenix goes down very good, but Jaina's also going to be going down. We do see a 2-for-1 in this sequence. Very good job by Screaming Nachos. I mean, Phoenix trying to be cheeky there. And obviously Lucio being rooted. Stats are able to go back up and clear the camp. Get some soak. They're still fighting over mid. And this is where if you are 210, this is when you're like, hey, do we want to die and give him a big advantage, or do we want to try and get soak? And it looks like Lucio's taking a lot of damage going down. Oh, Phoenix very low, 106 health, able to get away. A few members of Screaming Nachos get caught by the zombie wall. We do see Lucio going down, but also Nazebo. Johanna very low, but trying to buy some time maybe for her trade. Oh, actually goes down to the Phoenix. And surprisingly, it looks with a stun on that Tacitor. 210 Blechman Street able to get that, which is sort of a win. They're actually, that helped them catch up on XP. They were down almost a level. That, I mean, that was very good for 210. They were almost down a level, but they were able to catch up and got 10. I was going to say, it looks like Screaming Nachos are going to get 10 before 210 Blechman Street we're going to get it, but they actually get it. So now, if you're Screaming Nachos, you want to get 10 first, right? Right? You want to get 10 first? They are going to get 10 first before they can try and engage. They have some time. They have a turret. It looks like they have at least one turret, right? I don't think there's anybody who has... Oh, Jane has a turret. He's using engage now. Second time the charm. Sleep coming out with... Oh, the Ring of Frost. Oh. States is coming out, but I think a little bit too little, too late. That was a huge Ring of Frost from the Jaina. And that secures the first protector for 210 Blechman. And kind of like a change of momentum. I thought that they had control of this, and so they're opting to go to top lane, get the towers. Probably going to focus on well on top. It looks like they're going to focus on both the walls. They should be able to get this top as well. They're able to get that, and then they got what they wanted. They're going to back up. Jada are popping her stasis, but she's going to fall off the root, being pulled by the Maya. The Zebo's all a little too late, but even if it did go off, I don't know if it would have helped nonetheless. But actually, a very good play. To kind of, they lost their well and their city kept right in towers, but not too much. Gasol able to get double soak going through. And so let's take a look quickly at the tanks for both teams. We do have Sound Barrier, Ravenous Spirit, Avatar, Ring of Frost, and Planet Cracker, as well as Blessed Shield, Gravel Bomb, Black Hole, Containment Disc, and stay a while and listen, right? Stay a while and listen. It looks like we're trying to posture take to support camp. It looks like the team members of 210 Second Street understand it. The ring across the game. Oh! So very kudos on the Jaina, right? Slow cheetah on that Jaina has landed some very massive rings. Like, I'm sure those of you who are Jaina players understand how challenging that is to do. And then the follow-up with the Phoenix with pretty much the global ability, right? And Phoenix is going to be able to get a lot of value bot. Right away, we see the invasion of the bottom fortification camp. That Gaslo is going to be going down. So, again, we see a turn of tides with a match that was favoring Screaming Nachos quite a bit, and now shifted to favoring 210 Blechman Street. We're going to get that bottom sippy cup, and likely going to get that bottom ward. Johanna using her ult to try and stall them, but there's not much follow-up from that. And they're able to save it with about a quarter or less of health. We do have Jaina working on their own fortification camp on Azebo, doing things in the top lane. Yeah, that combo is pretty... Oh, so we do see the shift rotation up Nazebo. Oh, I was gonna say Nazebo, you gotta... He gets his ice wall. That might save us sometimes though. Ice wall again. The ice... Able to get two members again, but no follow-up blow-up. We do see Nazebo being very low. J1, listen. Goes down. Decker tried to hit him with his Diablo 2 staff, and it doesn't do much damage, and he actually goes down. We do see Deckard going down. I did like what Screaming Nachos were trying to do there, like trying to get a rotation. Tasser in a bad position. We do see the gravel bomb coming out, but on a Murden, we do see Blessed Shield coming out as well. Murden, I think, has his leap. He's gonna be. I think he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. All the while, we do have Dominator on the Phoenix doing his best as Modan impression, right? And just team. Phoenix, are you gonna join team fight? Right? We have the top objective coming online. Burden on the point. The rest of the members helping with the wave clear and potentially siege this top fort. And it looks like they're gonna probably get that with the rest of the members of Screaming Nachos taking their own siege camp. Deckard being bottom, trying to soak something. And Gasso gets engaged on by the Jaina and the Phoenix and goes down, unfortunately. So at this point, if you're Screaming Nachos, you're probably saying, hey, we have to give this up. We're down to talent. We're down to member. Just there's nothing we can do about this, right? So Johanna's helping clear mid. Members of 210 Blechman Street taking the support camp. All the while, the members of Screaming Nachos do take the fortification camp. They're going to get this, right? So if you're Screaming Nachos, you're on mitigation mode. How much can we deny as far as value from this?
Team has taken control of a protection.
We do see all 5 members of Screaming Nachos up top. 2 level difference. And you have to respect that, right? Because even though you're, quote, on the same tier, 2 level difference is significant still. So it's one of those things where you have to respect what they can do with you, but obviously when they're in the Punisher, you can't really get ganked. They get the middle fort as well. Phoenix is bottom, trying to put pressure. Maya responding to that. We do see the Punisher move mid lane, trying to get damage on the tower. And if you are 210, I think you're playing it safe. I think you're like, hey, we're gonna play for 20s at this point. We don't need to force anything. We're too You love his head. We need Murding leap in. Oh, the arm actually saved that Johanna, right? Yeah, it did. I think the Murden had the stun, but the arm from the Punisher actually saved him. Bottom lane getting some pressure, but then moved. So overall, I think 210 Blechman Street just kind of content with just we're just gonna get value what we can. We're just playing for 20. If you're streaming Nachos, I think you try to push things because a 1917 lead is. I think you're not gonna get 20s before the next objective comes up. So you're going to have to set up a win condition. At this point, all three of your forts are down. You don't have a win condition. You shouldn't even be here. Or I think actually that's fine. You have to get a quick pick and then try and get some momentum out of that, actually. But if you're 210 Blackman Street, you're just... We don't need to fight this, boys. So like, you can just back off. You don't have to be here. Back off. Right. And we do see a very good wall and engagement. We do see they recognize that we have somebody, and they're so low. We do see Jaina coming down, the Ring of Frost coming out, Murder being low, the Say-One and Listen coming out. But actually, this is very good. They're having to use the support camp. Murder leaping in. I would be careful. You're about to be 20, but still. And so this is something that Screaming Nachos has to take advantage of. Unfortunately, with the top camp, members have to respond to that. We do also see Johanna trying to pick up the fortification camp. Lucio understanding, hey, they're probably split. Oh no. Okay, they're able to secure that. 4 members down there, but not together. We have Maya up top trying to clear that. You still have 10 or so seconds before Jaina comes. I mean, I'm here, I'm like, we have to force something. We have like about 10 seconds. We have to force something. Murden's not the target, obviously. You want. Jaina's still a bit away. You gotta be careful if you are. Oh, the Johanna. Oh, able to get her a stoppable on the last second. I thought Johanna was actually gonna go down. They're gonna get this. That was actually closer than I thought. But it does help them get a little bit closer. About a little bit over halfway above the XP to get to 20.
A protector is almost ready. Access its terminal when I bring it online.
We do the rotation down that Phoenix. Almost getting caught out. So 210 is obviously saying we're going to be careful. We're going to in the Zeebo's top. And so if you see the Zeebo top, I would say you have to siege this. You have to push into this, force something out, right? Trying to get something. I would have even checked the camp. You see that in the Zeebo top lane. You can say you can predict they're doing their camp maybe. But they opt to play Haka's a little bit safer. Understandable. Taking position. We do have Deckard. With Philly online for both teams, we do have Bossa Nova, Unstoppable Force, Cold Snap, and Singularity Charge, as well as Radiating Faith, Miniature Black Hole, Cocoa Blitz, Shadow Orb, Huntress, and Bottomless Blast. We see engage coming in from the Murden. Johanna trying to help save out that name, but Ring of Frost gets 2 members, but able to get canceled, right? The channel got canceled. We just see the Dazzle game low, very low, able to survive. Both go down. And we do have Deckard on the point, but in a no man's land, and likely going to be going down, trying to be able to get out. And Dominator trying to chase, but realizing there's no point to chase to that. And again, 3 members of the side of Screaming Nachos go down to 1 member of 210 Blackman Street. And again, Jaina landing some very big Ring of Frost. So again, the off lane slash. Actually, technically, I think the Phoenix has been off lane. So more of like the double mage build has paid off. And again, World Sky is a map that goes to 20. It's a map that's very hard to end early. But with that, I thought that Titan could have got value right. I mean, you have Nazebo. You can siege this bottom fort and set up a wing condition a lot easier. They have to get camps, but it works out. They do have the Protector online. We do have Murden and Nazebo in there, which you have to be mindful of. If you are Screaming Nachos, you're like, hey, Murden and Nazebo are in there. Let's just run in, right? They have no tank. They don't have Nazebo, who hurts quite a bit. We have Lucio, Ring Frost coming out, and again, landing 2-3 members. Like, again, Jaina doesn't get a lot of damage. We do see the Lucio able to get his ult out, but also going to be able to go down. Jaina going down. Lucio going to be able to help him escape for a second at least. We do see the gas going down. And that's what I was saying. If I'm Screaming Nachos, I see your tank, and I think probably your worst, or your best sieger. I would just be like, hey, we just need to run into them. It was a 1-for-1 trade ultimately, slightly favoring 210 Blechman Street, but they're just trying to poke away. And I think they're trying to be careful. There's not much they can do. You see the Phoenix using their teleport in aggressively. You have that top camp pushing in, but it's likely to be clear. Won't get much value out of that. So you can feel the intensity of this match, right? You're at 20-minute mark, 23 to 21. And that's still a fairly significant lead, right? Even Talons, but a too little lead. It's still like we see Johanna right away engage onto them. The Black Hole coming out with the this Ravenous Sprayed Ring of Frost coming out, taking out the Deckard and the Tacitor, immediately being blown up. Murder jumping in, trying to engage, with Lucia trying to help the movement back. Jaina able to slow them down a bit, but then they're able to get away with help of the Black Hole from that Gaslow. It's 2 deaths, and if you are on the side of 210 Black Ones, you just siege, right? You siege mid. They're splitting up, which, the Johanna's very low. I don't think their Unstoppable is going to be available. Lucio, their Phoenix zening in, and he's going to be able to pull him back, and I think that's going to... Oh, the shield was enough to save them. His own shield and Lucio's shield able to help him. They do get the mid keep. Tacitor and Deckard will be up pretty soon. Engage on the Jaina. It looks like she's... Oh, uses her Ice Block to be able to get away. Very good play on the part of Slow Cheetah. I mean, you would have guessed if that Ice Block is not available, she goes down. All the while, the bottom keep does go down to your off-laning Nazebo, who's never with the team, right? We do see the siege camp being picked up, and so all keeps are down for the side of Screaming Nachos. So, and again, with all the there's front wall, and that's all that Screaming Nachos have been able to get. You have to set up a win condition, even if you always just go bot lane to try and force a fight and try to set up a win condition. I mean, this is a very bad spot. We do have this camp pushing top, and it looks like we're looking at an invade. Johanna being stuck in the zombie wall. That pops her on top of another Ring of Frost, being able to get the Johanna. It does go down. Blackwell comes out, able to stop it for a little bit. Gaslow is likely going to be going down, followed up by the Murden and the Jaina. Containment deaths going down. We do see catapults building up, but I would imagine if you are 210 Blackman Street, you're going to core, right? 40 seconds on Johanna, 49 on Gaslow. You just and you see the Maya trying to shadow vault the Ring of Frost, but actually
still got caught.
Red team's core is under attack.
And with all this pressure, and now Tassa going down, the core is going down really quickly, and it looks like GG's on the part of 210 Blechman Street. And very good job, very, very well played on both sides. We got to a game 3. Obviously, both teams able to put out a show, but again, I have to highlight, even with Shadow Cheetah going down quite a few times, able to land some pretty significant Ring of Frost. Like, even going down 6 times, they were able to land. I mean, each Ring of Frost landed about 2 or maybe 3 members on the side of Screaming Nachos, and I mean that's hard to do, right? With no real, they were like open, right? Ring of Frost. There wasn't much setup. There isn't like you have an Imosh. There isn't like you have a. I think maybe once or twice there was a stun from Murden, but there isn't much CC. So these were kind of like open Ring of Frost from that Jaina. So very good on the part of Slow Cheetah being able to land those. It was obviously significant. And the Phoenix being able to follow up right away. Obviously, I imagine in their comms, they're calling out the Ring of Frost, and the Phoenix getting ready to use their ult on the members that got caught out. We do see this being a high kill count, which is typically what we see from this particular map, 24-10. Look at the top damage, Jaina, not surprisingly, follow up with the Tasseter, but overall we did have the Zebo and Phoenix able to provide quite a bit of damage, and there's a big drop off after that with the gas, so maybe see the Murden being up there. As far as healing, Deckard being able to actually output a lot of healing, but in the end, it was probably more than they were able to sustain us, especially with burst damage from Jaina. We see Siege again and Zebo coming in with Tasser and Phoenix. Not far behind. Overall XP, we did see Tasser doing well, but again, that's something that's of concern, right? If you have your DPS having to soak, that's cause for concern. But overall, kudos to both teams showing a very good matchup. And lastly, I'll show the talents for you to review, criticize, and give feedback on. Yeah, Rock Your Worlds. They're very good close, especially game 2 and 3. Let me see if I can get a member from the side of $210. I guess I'll join a random lobby while they join us. But as far as the builds, we did see Naziva go with Thing of the Deep. I think now that Spider build got nerfed, we don't see players favor that as much. I think Thing of the Deep is fine. I think we see a more of a standard Nazibo build overall. Dead Rush is something you don't see quite as often, but I worked out here. Ravenous Spirit. Ice Block, I think, actually got a lot of value with the Spider Colony, and then lastly, Vile Infection. Jaina going with the Lingering Chill. This is actually a very undervalued talent, I believe. So you're seeing the Lingering Chill, Arcane Intellect combo. We do see the Ice Flows, not the Windfairy Wand. But we did see the Numbing Blast, which I did see a few members getting rooted by this, right? They got Cone of Cold Roots, chill targets for 1 second. We did see a few members getting rooted by that. And then you have your Phoenix going your target acquired build with the Planet Cracker. Didn't get the upgrade, but Singularity Charge, where you typically see Johanna with your build that you would expect. Gasso, same thing. You do have your Grab a Bomb build. Tasser, interestingly, did go Scythe Fusion. We do have this particular build. So let's go get one member. We do have Asterix coming through. Hello,
Hey.
hello,
How you doing?
Asterix. And
Hi.
again, congratulations on a very competitive matchup for your. This is your first, right? Obviously, this is the first week of the playoffs.
Yes.
Uh, and so, how? I mean, the kind of the obvious question that you all tend to ask is, how is your team feeling after this matchup?
Um, Relieved. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but that's the same team that we played our last week of the season,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked like we were heading down the same path of
Yeah,
winning the first game, losing the second game, and well, you know the rest. So yeah, we
yeah,
managed to dig ourselves out of that hole. So we're pretty pumped about it. I mean, the standings, sure, they're below us in the standings, but we know that doesn't mean anything. And a lot of times, especially in these low divisions, you never know what you're going to get. But yeah, we're pretty pumped. This is our first playoff game and our first playoff win. So doesn't get better than that, right?
great. So on that point, I imagine this is your first season as a team, correct?
Second season. We
Second
played last
season.
season. Yeah,
Okay.
but we were in Division C last season because I guess they were scared that there was no book on us, so they didn't know who we were, how good we were. I mean, even though we were all pretty much like low silver, so but we got stomped like every game. We didn't win a single map. So being lowered division really put us in a place where we can be a little bit more realistically competitive, let's just say.
Well, and I think that's kind of hard when you have a lot of new members. I think NGS does a really good job of trying to put people in a division where they belong, and
Absolutely.
when you have new members, it's just very hard to gauge. But
Uh,
overall,
I never had a problem with it. We totally understood, and we were willing to take our licks just for the chance to play in this league. Absolutely.
yeah. So, but it seems though playing in that division C definitely probably gives you a lot of experience, right? That you can carry on to this division, and obviously it shows where you're able to be successful. Uh, I had a few questions gonna go through. I'm not gonna go try and spend too much of your time, but we did see
Worries.
this matchup going back and forth, right? I have to say, your game one, you're very dominant. It showed that you had a plan. You're able to go in. This map actually was selected by uh, Screaming Nachos, right? So they actually selected the first map. They
Chris Hollow.
selected Curse Hollow, and so obviously, probably in a map that they thought they were comfortable in, or they felt like maybe they can take advantage of something that you will do. But overall, you were able just to control the flow of the match. So if you can tell us a little bit about how you felt about what you wanted to achieve in this particular match.
Well, from what I think I'm theorizing they might have picked Cursed Hollow because they did last time we played them and they
Uh huh.
had a lot of success there and we were just discombobulated. We noticed that they ran like a four-man gang squad a lot, so we had like we were just a little more disorganized last time. So this time around, we decided that we were just going to be play it cooler, just not so aggressive, because let them run around, chase us, and not engage and avoid fights wherever possible. And we even plan to give up a curse or two. I mean, or a channel anyway, at the very least, here and there, just to allow the two other. I can't remember. We had a Nazebo and who was the other one?
Well, me
Was it
personally,
Phoenix again? No, somebody else who was pretty good at pushing lanes, and we just figured we'd let them do some work in the lanes, pushing the structures down, whilst we gave up a couple of channels, and it ended up working out okay. We had some good communication in the comms, which is completely contrast to last time we played on this map against this team. So yeah, we were playing a lot cooler and less aggressive. I think that really helped us.
Yeah, and it definitely showed. Like, it seemed like you were able to just kind of do your thing and kind of slowly kind of take you got objectives. It got to the point where uh Screaming Nachos just had to give things. They could have give objectives, and this is a map where if you're not able, it could get sort of snowballing in that sense, right? If you're not able
Mhm.
to swing the momentum and take advantage of it, it gets really snowbally. We're behind on lanes, we're behind on we're behind them. They get a boss, we have to clean this boss, we have to rotate down, and they're gonna get the bottom boss. So it can
Yep.
get very snowbally. So I think you just kind of did that right. You were able to take advantage of that, so it can kudos to your team. And so
Well,
then,
I think they, sorry if I interject, I think they did a good job of that at first, and we were just basically
mhm,
trying not to get it too snowbally, and again, staying on top of off lane camps when objective is top or bottom or whatever. It's something that they do really well, the other team, the Screaming Nachos, and they held us to task on that, so we had to be right on top of all the camp timings, and we did, you know.
yeah, I think you got quite a bit of value from your cams coming through.
Yeah.
Moving over to game two, and then you went over to Tomb, right? And this was
Yeah,
selected by them, correct?
correct.
And so um, they did a really good job. They were able to again kind of flip the roles where they seemed like they were a little bit more able to do what they wanted to. Um, and so, I mean, uh, obviously, it's hard to kind of like say, "Hey, we did wrong here and there," but maybe move fast forward towards the end of the match.
Hmm.
How did you feel coming out of this? Right? Like, was there anything you were like, "Hey,
Yeah, well, fast forward to the end of the match, it's exactly where it all went down. I mean,
yeah,
obviously, we felt like we had a late game comp again, and
hmm
so we just needed to keep things reasonable until we can get Kerrigan online, and even Asmo online,
yeah,
even more so than usual. And we did, we had that first core defense where they looked like they were going to win, and Kerrigan just popped off.
yeah,
We finally got her to where we wanted her, like I said, and good finally. But by then it felt like it was, we had lost everything, right? So
yeah,
we were down to just the shield essentially on the core, and
10%."
we made a mistake. We didn't be home. We didn't hearth home fast enough, and they punished us for it. So kudos on them.
Yeah, and it's one of those kind of losing matches, right? Where it's like we get an objective, but we have to constantly be aware of the back door. And
Yeah,
again, they got your core to 10%, and Kerrigan was able to take a few picks, but it's one of those very difficult situations where it's just like we're having to clean lanes. We're having even if we get ejected, we're having to be mindful of the back door. So kudos to Screaming Nachos. They recognized that they saw you
hmm,
bot. I think they went straight into going like, hey, we need to go core. If we were all in core,
yeah.
by the time
They
they
were
back,
sneaking around there for sure. They were sneaking around, waiting to see if that camp would pop, and as soon as they did, they went
oh
in.
yeah, I mean, if you go
Absolutely.
back and watch the VOD, you'll probably see that
Yeah.
they were like top lane and they did a good job. They were kind of hesitant, and then I even mentioned in the cast, I was like, I think if you're Screaming Nachos, you just go core. Like you have
Yeah.
molten core, you have a lot of
Yeah.
tools to just end. It's
Yep.
risky nonetheless, but they were able to achieve it. And
You
with
know,
that, oh, go ahead.
we thought we'd get that bottom camp and then go home and defend it because we knew that we're going to go core. And at the very least, when we're fighting core, the longer it took, the more value we'd get from that camp because they had no keep there too.
Hmm
That was the reasoning for getting that camp, and then go home defend. But we just did not go home fast enough. We were being silly.
Yeah, you don't realize how long hearthing takes until a
Yeah,
situation like that.
it's like 18 seconds, right? I think.
Yeah,
18
it feels like it, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, they were to secure game two and then take us to
Yeah.
game three. So obviously, um, you this time you chose the map, right? And we went over to um, here on Volskaya. So
Hmm.
obviously, this is a map that it definitely goes to 20 again. It's a map that's very hard to end early on.
Hmm.
Interestingly, you went with a comp again. We have the Zebo coming through. We see Phoenix being selected. I mentioned that Phoenix dominated really good on the Phoenix. That was banned out of
Yep.
game two. We see the Insta lock when it was available. Followed through with the Lucio and the Jaina and Murden. Overall, I think both of you had very good comps. My concern was that within the Zebo and the Jaina, uh, can you hold a point early, right? Because I'm like, it seems like
Hmm.
they had better chance of maybe hold points early. They kind of did early, but you were able to kind of
Hmm.
first objective collect yourself that. So, what were your thoughts on how you were going to be approaching this match? Because again, Jane and Azebo, you're going to have to give up a little bit, right? Because you don't have as beefy quote as lineup as they did early on.
Yeah. Well, as the draft is coming through, we didn't really know what they were going to pick or,
Mm-hmm.
how beefy they were going to be. So we we went with I don't think they were expecting the Murden pick, so we told them to we told our player to
Mm-hmm.
try and build sustain, so put all the pressure on him to try and hold off the damage, and he did a good job of that. But you're absolutely right. Early game we didn't quite have the damage to hold a point like you say, but we communicated really well in comms, and we didn't overstretch. We didn't YOLO, which is sometimes something that happens, and
Mm-hmm.
we didn't do it. And as a matter of fact, as you mentioned, our denominator, our Phoenix player, we were able to soak a bunch of damage, and as we were about to retreat, he teleported in and just again popped off, and then just got a couple of kills, and that turned the whole thing on its head. And somehow they didn't recover from that, and we were able to get the point. So yeah, completely lucky. I guess we just managed to just backpedal just enough, keep a toehold on the point, at 99% in the overtime, and Phoenix did the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few times where Phoenix was very low, your Murden was very low, and it seemed like they were about to get, you know, killed, and they were to turn this and able to kind of help
Yeah.
turn the fight around. So again, I think your Phoenix Dominator, very kudos. Also, I was complimenting Slow Cheetah being able to get some kind of blind quote. I say blind because like there's no setup for it. Ring of Frost,
Yeah. Yeah.
like literally every Ring of Frost got two members, sometimes three, and that's
Yeah.
very hard to do. So again, kudos to your Jaina Slow Cheetah. I mean, I think it was actually again, this is why I don't play TPS. I'm a horrible TPS, so that's why I don't play
Likewise.
TPS.
He's
But
a talented fella.
yeah, so that's when I see these like blind, like, open, non-setup Ring of Frost. I'm like impressed because it's like those are hard to land. So, but you were able to consistently get those. You have the cannon come through Phoenix and able to follow up, and so those were consistently a pattern that I saw throughout the match that kind of won you the fight. I mean, it really came down to that.
Yeah.
Did Slow Cheetah able to land Ring of Frost followed up by a cannon from
Hmm.
Dominator and get that value, and it came through. And again, it's hard to end here early on, but you just consistently were able to control a lot of the fights. And if there was a much as you see the final score, you were able to get 24 kills. You kind of controlled the match, and we all know
Yeah.
that. I mean, it was like level 20 something at the end, 22 or so. And you hadn't lost the fort, so at that point, I mentioned that you guys probably understood it. This is our match to kind of lose, right? We have
Right.
momentum, we have control. But anyways, with
Yeah.
that,
Sorry.
congratulations on
Thank you.
on being able to get you this playoff win, move forward. And so I think we're still waiting probably on one more match, right? I believe tomorrow from Division E West to kind of align
Uh,
who.
I believe so. Yeah. The fourth and
Yeah,
fifth place team. Yeah.
so that will dictate who you're going to be fighting or playing against next week.
That I don't think that affects me at all. I think
Oh, it
we're
doesn't.
already locked in. Yeah, we're already locked in
Oh, okay.
against lowered expectations.
Oh,
And
okay.
ironically, these are all our real life friends. So not all of them,
Ah,
but we have a lot of. We're all in the same group of friends who play this game regularly, and a lot of us are actually in Winnipeg,
oh,
Manitoba,
nice,
Canada. So
nice.
it's like our crosstown rival. So we're good friends, and we're looking forward to kicking their butts. You hear me, Zamfex? I'm talking to you, not Zamfex. Malfrex, sorry, wrong guy.
There you go. Well, I mean, if you know each other, there's nothing like fun rivalry amongst friends, right? Hopefully.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
anyways,
hopefully.
with that, I don't want to keep up more of your time. Again, congrats, but I'll leave up the floor open for you to for any shout outs or anything you want to say at the end.
Well, no, shout out to the Screaming Nachos, man. They took us to the wall. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to more of the same next season. I hopefully they'll join again, and we can continue to have this fun, this back and forth. And shout out again to Malfrex, my friend over at the Lowered Expectations. Hope we have a good match next week, and everybody has fun. And my team, good job, guys. Proud of you.
Great. With that, again, thank you very much, and good luck with the rest of the playoffs. I mean, I know that all these matches are very intense, and all the teams that are here deserve to be there. So I know all teams have to earn their way through, right?
Mhm.
Anyways, again, I'll see you hopefully in the future, and best of luck.
Thank you, and thanks for casting. We really appreciate your dedication and hard work on this, man. I don't even know how you guys do it, but it looks great, and we'll always send you as many likes or views or whatever as we can.
Likewise, thank you. It's very fun. It's been a fun hobby for myself the past couple of weeks to do this.
Glad to hear it. Take care.
All right, take care. Likewise. All right, so we do see our final being 2-1 on the side favoring 210 Blackman Street. And again, I did it. I was able to not say Belchman Street because, like, for whatever reason, I always wanted to say Belchman when I saw their name. But I think I did a good job of pronouncing the names. And again, I apologize for the kind of the audio mishap as far as me trying to improve my stream. It made it worse. But with that, I think, again, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I'll be pushing you over to, I think there's a couple NGS matches still going on. So I'll be moving you over for those who are still looking to get some more NGS action. Again, with that, I thank you very much for joining me this evening. And with that, I'll see you next time on the dark side. Have a good night.
Purchase your tracks today.